Kicking off the week on Monday morning, the weekend, we were after having the US after attacking some nuclear sites over in Iran, which created a big gap down. But the market filled that gap immediately, just started running straight back up, and that gap down also created a fair liquidity sweep under the market. And I was liking the on the 1 hour we had multiple highs that were very easy to sweep, and price was after making ground up to that area for the morning. And just coming to the morning, I was bullish just because of the sweep down. We're after filling in the new week opening gap, and yeah, bullish for the morning. First potential position I could have taken was an hour before the open. Seven micro contracts I was looking to take long off a 1 minute fair value gap, and there was also a small high that I was hoping would act as support also, but I never got tapped into the trade, and the price was grinding slowly higher. And I actually noticed that we had news coming up at 9:45, 15 minutes after the open, so I never took that long with the seven micro contracts, which would have been a 4.48 risk to reward. But yeah, cancel that position anyway. We'll cancel the order, and I was also looking to take another position off a 5 minute fair value gap, but I wasn't going to place that because yeah, news was coming out anyway. And the third position I was looking to take was 1.2 risk to reward, but it was only going to be for one micro contract, and never got tapped into it anyway. So that was also targeting all them three trades are all targeting the 5 minute high. Never got tapped into that either. And the whole reason I was looking to take that, it kind of looks like more of an aggressive entry, is because we never closed below the low of the morning. We just swept it, continued on up after the open, and we had news come out, and price continued to go up. And after the 10 o'clock news, the existing home sales for the US, um, I then look to take my another position. We're just after taking the 5 minute high. I was looking to take three micro contracts long and a risk reward of 4.26. But I ended up taking the position off as I felt price was stalling out just after taking the 5 minute high. So took the position off as I felt we could get a strong reversal, and we did get a strong reversal anyway. And price ended up sweeping the lows that were put in just after the open, and this is actually going past 12 o'clock New York time, and I wasn't trading anymore, but I was still looking at the charts. And a potential position I could have taken was just after 12:45. We got to move back down after the sweep, and I was placed the trading view drawing tool down, and I'd have been targeting the highs of the morning for a risk reward of 1.79 with one micro contract more than likely, which ended up playing out. And yeah, no position actually taken for the day, but plenty there was plenty to look at anyway. Coming into the morning, there was a very strong push up on the hourly, taking out the three highs I was looking for to act as a draw on liquidity. Um, the new day opening gap was the midpoint of that range, but I didn't see price really heading back down to that, as there was also a ceasefire agreed between Israel and Iran, and the US were involved in that. So it was good news. So I was expecting the price to continue on up, and yeah, just bullish for the morning. There wasn't actually too much to go off of really. Trade wise for Tuesday, it was very choppy for the morning, and I didn't end up placing any trade up until 10:42 New York time. We had a small move up, creating new highs for the morning, and I was looking for the 5 minute high to get taken, and also along the way the intermediate high, and I ended up placing long position for eight micro contracts, which was a lot of contracts for me, and my stop loss was 17.25 points. Um, I was going to look to take three of them off at the intermediate high and let the other five go up to the 5 minute high, but price ended up it wasn't looking too bad at the start, but got wicked out for a massive, well, an oversized loss, and there was slippage on that. For slippage, I usually like to lose about like well risk $300, and I lost 385 and 92 cents on that, which was a large loss for me. And immediately after that sweep, with that candle, that red, well, black candle down, we had a push up, and there was a 1 minute fair value gap created in that push up, and it was in 50% of the range. So I looked to place a position there with four micro contracts going long, and just after taking the intermediate high, that candle that actually took it was God very wicky. It wicked me in immediately after taking the intermediate high and pushed up, and I was tempted to move my stop loss to break even immediately, but I was I was contemplating it because I wanted to see the 5 minute high get taken, so I never moved my stop loss to break even. And price slowly ended up taking out the top of that wick where I moved my stop loss then to break even, which was a strong push up through that wick. And we ended up kind of slowly consolidating, grinding our way up. And when it got to the 5 minute highs just before it, Lord have mercy, just the candles, it was painful to even watch it. I was tempted to take it off just before taking the highs because I was worried with ES wasn't able to take out its intermediate highs on its chart, like. So I was just worried that NQ would follow in the same direction, and if ES started turning around and going bearish, that I was worried NQ would follow. We ended up barely well taking out the 5 minute highs, and yeah, ended up the day, that trade was a $441 win. So end of the day up $55.12. So yeah, it was all right. At least we ended the day up. Coming into Wednesday morning, I was bullish overall, but I wanted to see price return back down to the new day opening gap, and just show that it was acting as support to push price higher. And Powell was actually speaking at 3 o'clock New York time. So yeah, I had to watch out for that. So I wasn't going really trading before he was talking, just after the open. So bullish for the morning anyway. For the kickoff of the morning, I took no trade before the open or any of that. And at the open, we got a strong push up immediately. And price came back down though at 9:45, and it didn't close below the low that was there that morning. And price continued up for just a small little bit, but didn't create a new high. But I didn't want to place a trade on it as news was coming out. Powell was speaking at 10, and when that candle did nothing anyway, to be honest, and price continued down anyway. So thankfully, I didn't place that long position, and I would have lost that trade anyway. Price kind of just didn't do much from there over until like kind of 11 o'clock. We got a drop down, and I saw that as like confirmation that we're heading down to the new day opening gap. And yeah, took a trade anyway at 50% of the range off a 1 minute fair value gap, and I had to adjust my position as I just felt like the first fair value gap I chose was a bit high, and yeah, the second one anyway, I went with that, and yeah, got tapped in, and it was a nice entry, and price shot down not long after, and that last strong candle was actually MES over. It took its new day opening gap on that candle, so I was immediately very cautious that like I would have just preferred to see that MNQ would have gone down to my target of the new day opening gap and tapped it at least, and but immediately after I was just worried that we were going to get a reversal, but price consolidated around there for ages, and I decided after a while to move my well, like take partials at that low that was created from that strong push down. So took two micro contracts off there, and price eventually anyway shot down and tapped out, hit the new day opening gap, and yeah, kind of shot up from there. And the rest of the day is slightly consolidated around and started going up slightly later on. But the day anyway, what did I on the day ended up 395 and 4 cent, and that trade was a 1.79 risk to reward. So good day, and yeah. For Thursday morning, I was bullish on all time frames. But for the lower time frames, like the 5 and 15, I was just wanted to see a sweep of liquidity lower, just so price action was just too clean on the upside, and I wanted to see a sweep lower before price to continue up. Mainly, I wanted to see the 5 minute lows get taken out. And for the morning, we also had news coming out, jobless claims at 8:30. So just looking to watch out for that as well. Bullish for the morning anyway. For Thursday, I was actually looking to place a trade just before the news. Well, I didn't place it because of the news, and also my stop loss would have been very small for me anyway. Would have been 14.25 points, which I just considered too small, so I didn't end up placing that long position. But when the U.S. jobless or when the jobless claims came out, price went straight down to the 5 minute low, taking that out, and we chopped around there for the morning, and price continued to grind down on NQ, but over on ES, that same 5 minute low I had marked out over on ES as well, and that was holding up strong. All we were on the 5 minute was wicking down through it, but price was still holding around that area. So I was still looking for bullish positions anyway. And when price made that strong move up, I just wanted to see that also ES would make that move up, and it also did. But I just waited for more confirmation. So I waited for another leg up, and I entered on that leg up on a 1 minute fair value gap. And it also lined up with three highs that acted as resistance before. And I obviously want to see them act as support this time. But yeah, NQ anyway ended up slowly grinding its way higher, and that position I had 5 micro contracts on it for a risk reward of 1.33, and it ended up as a winner. And I was going to leave one of the micro contracts as a runner just in case we started running up, but I said I wouldn't. I just wouldn't bother because price hasn't been going anywhere lately anyway, so it's best to just take it all off the board. And right decision anyway, as it would have got stopped out at break even. And for the rest of the day, price just went back up after that, and yeah, up on the day, up 351 and 30 cents. Coming to Friday morning, I was bullish, looking for the all-time highs to get taken. And just before the morning, I wanted to just see a stronger pullback, and for price to continue up, taking out the 5 minute high. But I wouldn't want to see it like crack down through the new day opening gap or anything. Otherwise, I'd be kind of confident that we would continue down for the Friday. And plus, since it's a Friday, it could be a bit more dangerous as we could just have a retracement back over the week's progress up. So, but for the morning, we had news coming out, the consumer spending, and that was at 8:30 New York time, and then the Michigan sentiment was coming out at 10 o'clock. So I wasn't overly ambitious though trading straight off the bat in the morning. I wanted to wait to see them play out, and I would look to take a trade then. And yeah, bullish for the morning. For Friday, what played out after the open? For just before the open, we got a strong push down, and like which I was happy with, as I wanted to see a retracement. And just after the open, we just put in a couple of wicks down, and price went straight up. The news at 10 o'clock, the Michigan sentiment came out, was also bullish, and price continued up for a small bit after that. With that large push up, I looked to take a trade off the mid range of that, the 1 minute fair value gap, and it was a 73-point stop loss, so it would have been it was 2 micro contracts, and it was a 1.53 risk to reward targeting the all-time highs, and price started coming down, but it looked we got a strong push up, but it still didn't take the 1 minute that like the very recent high. And since it put in a second high, I didn't want to place the trade as we could have messed around before taking the all-time highs. So I ended up not going through with leaving the order on, and price came down after that, after putting in that second high, and it basically entered me into the trade. Price went back up, and it made a new high, but it didn't take out the initial high of the range I was like placing my trade off of. But anyway, it didn't take out that high, so I wouldn't have placed my trade to break even potentially. If in actuality, if the trade did play out, I would have moved my stop loss to break even. I wouldn't have left it go against me after it went that far. It was basically a 1 hour, like basically we went like 1 hour up. So anyway, after that, price messed around for a bit, and I had worked that evening, so I would have taken off the trade early, which would have been in profit, and I would have been up about I would have been up about 0.48 hour. So kind of like a yeah. But if I did leave the trade on anyway, I would have lost the trade at 20 past 2 New York time. So yeah, really not placing the trade was actually like the wrong decision because it met all my criteria. Except I was just too afraid to place the trade. Fine if we put in a second high, which didn't take out the initial high, but I still should have left the trade on as we didn't consolidate around for ages or anything before coming down to tap me in or potentially tap me in. Yeah, that was more out of fear I didn't place that trade, but still, I kind of missed out on a 0.48 hour. But anyway, up on the week overall, uh, the account is currently at 947 and 60 cent, and this week ended with up 801 and 46 cent. So yeah, a good week, most certainly, obviously.